Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today, our group will discuss what is it like for a Kuwaiti company to conduct business in the United States. The company we selected is Kuwait Danish Dairy Company, better known as KDD. Our main question here is, how can KDD enter the US market successfully while controlling its risks? Our recommendation here for KDD is to begin by exporting one focused product line, such as its shelf-stable, flavored, and functional milk products. KDD should not enter the United States immediately as a whole. Instead, it should begin in a state that is highly populated with Arab Americans, which is Metro Detroit, Michigan. It can then expand gradually into the wider American market. Before discussing the strategy, we first need to understand the United States as a business environment. The US should not be treated as one simple and uniform market. Different states and cities may have different consumer preferences, income levels, cultures, regulations, and competitive conditions. Because of this, foreign companies should choose their first location carefully instead of attempting to enter the entire country at once. The United States has one of the largest and most diverse economies in the world. Its major industries include technology, financial services, healthcare, retail, agriculture, food, energy, and entertainment. It is also home to many of the world's largest multinational corporations. This makes the United States attractive, but it also makes it highly competitive. The country is important in international business for several reasons. First, it has a large population with relatively high purchasing power. Second, it has advanced infrastructure, including major ports, highways, airports, warehouses, and retail systems. Third, the US dollar is one of the most important currencies in international trade and foreign exchange. Fourth, the United States has strong legal and financial institutions. For KDD, the United States provides several opportunities. The first opportunity is the Arab American market. Many Arab and Middle Eastern consumers may already know what KDD is, or may be familiar with similar flavored products. This reduces the difficulty of introducing the brand for the first time. The second opportunity is the functional beverage market, and our third opportunity is the size of the market. If KDD succeeds in a focused location, it may later expand into regional and national supermarket chains. However, the market also presents challenges. KDD will face established American and international brands, strict regulations, high transportation costs, retail bargaining power, and low awareness among mainstream consumers. This is why the company should use a gradual and controlled entry strategy. Now, I'll be discussing the American business culture. Culture is important in international business because it affects communication, negotiation, decision making, relationships, and customer expectations. American business communication is generally direct and no contest. This means business people often prefer clear answers and short explanations, facts, numbers, and written confirmations. For example, when KDD meets a distributor or supermarket buyer, the company should clearly explain the product, target customers, price, expected sales, profit margins, and marketing plan. Vague promises will not be enough here. American managers often expect the company to support its claims with data. Business greetings are usually professional but not extremely formal. First names are commonly used, even between employees and managers. However, this informal style does not mean that professionalism is unimportant. KDD representatives must still be prepared, organized, responsive, and respectful. Managers are expected to arrive on time, meet deadlines, reply to emails, and provide information when they promised. If KDD promises to deliver samples, documents, or products by a certain date, it should meet that commitment. Repeated delays may create doubts about the company's ability to supply supermarkets. The American business environment may also have a relatively low level of visible hierarchy. Employees can sometimes speak directly with managers and question ideas. Decision making may involve different departments, not only the highest ranking manager. For example, A supermarket may require approval from legal teams, finance, food safety specialists, logistics, and category managers. KDD should therefore be prepared to communicate with several stakeholders. Business relationships are important as well, but American companies may discuss business before developing a long personal relationship. Now I'll pass the presentation to Uthman, who will discuss KDD's selected products, the legal environment, international trade, and the recommended entry mode. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now I'll explain the KDD products we selected, the legal and business environment in the United States, and how we believe KDD should enter the US market. KDD was established in Kuwait in 1962 and is well known for producing dairy products, juices, ice cream, and other food products. For this project, we are not recommending that KDD export everything. Instead, we choose one specific product line, which is KDD's shelf-stable, flavored, and functional milk products. These include flavors like chocolate, strawberry, banana, and vanilla, as well as the good for me and high protein milk products. We choose this product line because it targets two different groups of customers. The first group is families, children, and students who enjoy flavored milk. The second group is people who go to the gym, working professionals, and health-conscious customers looking for a quick source of protein. Another advantage is that these products use UHT processing, so they can be stored without refrigeration until they are opened. This makes exporting much easier and more practical than shipping fresh dairy products or ice cream. Now let's look at the legal environment. The United States follows a common law legal system. This means KDD will need strong contracts with importers, distributors, retailers, and logistics companies. The company should also work with American legal experts who understand food regulations and business law. Food regulations are especially important. Before selling products in the US, KDD must meet FDA requirements, use proper English labels, include nutrition facts, declare allergens correctly, and make sure any claims such as high protein or no added sugar are accurate and supported. Although the United States welcomes foreign investments, we do not recommend building a factory or buying an American company at the beginning. Both options required a large investment and carry higher risks. Instead, KDD should first test market and see if there is enough demand. Another factor is foreign exchange. Since KDD produces its products in Kuwait but sells them in US dollars, exchange rate changes could affect profits. The company can reduce this risk by pricing in US dollar and carefully managing exchange rates. Our recommended entry strategy is exporting. KDD should continue manufacturing in Kuwait and export its products to the United States. Exporting allows the company to use its existing facilities, keep control over product quality, and enter the market with much lower risk than opening a factory. It also gives KDD the flexibility to adjust or stop exports if demand is lower than expected. We also recommend working with an experienced American importer and distributor. However, the agreement should be based on performance. If sales targets are not achieved, KDD should have the option to work with another distributor instead of giving permanent exclusive rights. For launch, we recommend starting in Dearborn, Michigan. This city has a large Arab American community. So many customers may already be familiar with KDD products or be willing to try a Middle Eastern brand. After building success there, KDD can expand across Michigan and then into other US states. Thank you. I will now hand the presentation over to Ahmed, who will discuss marketing adaptation, the Red Bull case, opportunities, risks, and our final recommendation.
The question is, how can KDD enter the United States without losing its identity while still appealing to American consumers? The answer is not complete standardization and it's not complete adaptation. So KDD should be in the middle. KDD should keep the core product but adapt how it's presented and marketed. It should maintain its brand name, quality, manufacturing, experience, main flavors, and core product benefits. However, it should adapt its packaging, labeling, serving sizes, pricing, promotions, distribution, and consumer communication. The packaging should be English first and meet all the US food labeling requirements. It should clearly show nutrition facts, ingredients, allergens, storage instruction, and accurate protein and sugar claims. It should also explain that the milk is UHT and shelf stable before opening, because some American consumers may not be familiar with milk sold outside the refrigerated sections. KDD should keep its Kuwaiti and Middle Eastern identity for sure, but it should not position itself only as an ethnic brand. Our recommended positioning is an authentic international dairy brand offering a flavorful, convenient, and functional milk at an accessible price. Middle Eastern identity can differentiate KDD, but the benefits must appeal to a wider market. Now let's take a lesson from Red Bull. A useful international business example is Red Bull, because Red Bull entered the United States in 1997, but it didn't launch across the entire country immediately. Instead, it entered selected geographic markets, tested demand, and expanded gradually. It used distinctive packaging, premium pricing, product sampling, sports sponsorship, youth marketing, and lifestyle branding. The main lesson for KDD is focus. KDD should begin with one geographic market, one main customer segment, and a limited number of products. Red Bull and KDD are different companies, but the principles is the same. Focus first, create demand, learn from customers, and then expand. Opportunities and risk. KDD has several opportunities in the United States. These include the large Arab American community, possible familiarity with the brand, distinctive flavors, demand for protein product, shelf-stable convenience, strong retail system, and future expansion across North America. However, the risks are also significant. These include strong competition, strict FDA requirements, high transportation cost, import duties, low brand awareness, dependence on one distributor, limited shelf space, exchange rate change, and the risk of remaining only within a small ethnic market. Our final recommendation is that KDD should enter the United States, but gradually and carefully. A strategic alliance or joint venture can be considered later after the export strategy succeeds. In conclusion, I will say only one sentence. KDD should focus first, learn from the market, and then expand. Thank you so much.